I'm Rose Stanley, and this is World at Work TV. I'm joined today by Andrea Wicks-Bowles from Bright Horizons, and we're going to be talking about a dream company. So Andrea, tell us a little bit about the research that you did at Bright Horizons about dream companies.
Okay, well, I'm part of Horizons Workforce Consulting, and we are the research and consulting arm of Bright Horizons. We had an opportunity to conduct a piece of research that included a survey, an electronic survey that was designed by Dr. Lucy English. The study was designed to understand the needs of the working adults in the U.S. We heard from well over 4,000 full-time working adults, asked them a number of questions using the well-being lens, which gave us an opportunity to assess how they experience their health and well-being. We asked a number of engagement questions to be able to identify specific metrics that are going to be important for business outcomes. And we asked questions around how they identify their work and how they identify their job.
So what were your findings from this?
Well, it was fascinating. What was interesting about the findings is Dr. Lucy English was able to cross-tab some of the answers against two key areas of focus: their experiences at work, their experiences in the organization and the work, and we were able to figure out what was driving employer outcomes. Our findings: individuals who identified being in a dream company had much better outcomes than individuals who identified working for an organization that they did not feel was a dream company. These outcomes included higher levels of well-being. They were more likely to say that my organization cares about my well-being. They were 11 times more likely to stay within their organization than those respondents that did not say they worked in a dream company. They were 3.5 times more likely to say things like, my job inspires me. They were more likely to say, my organization cares about my professional growth and development. And what we found is when an individual identified being in a dream company, they also were individuals who were more likely to identify that organization as providing important core benefits, but also additional benefits beyond that. So rather than just having access to 401k, for example, or health, they also said that their organization provided important benefits like childcare, like professional development, tuition reimbursement supports, programs like dependent care supports, and key other, shall we say, work-life provisions that enabled them to be successful at work and in their important priorities outside of work.
This really sounds like a more holistic approach.
Absolutely. It's totally holistic. The survey was based on a well-being approach, which gave us important data that looked more holistically. Employers that acknowledge the total employee needs doesn't mean the employer has to deal with all of those needs, but to understand who's really coming to work every day and the complexities of being successful at work and always wanting to learn and grow and be curious, but also taking care of the responsibilities for those things outside of work, which could be paying loan repayments, the millennial population having $250,000 loans for school. That's a part of who they are coming to work today. Obviously, working parents and their child care provisions, and all of us with our elder care and loved one responsibilities.
So what do you think organizations can take away from your research in order for them to build their own dream company?
The dream company story is one I believe will resonate with your leadership and decision makers. It explains what's important, and it is a data-driven definition as to why that's important. So what I think that HR practitioners can do is to utilize the dream company approach, perhaps conducting a study within their own organization so that the data is actually specific and customized to the realities of their workforce, of their industry, and so forth, but use it to spark a conversation, a meaningful conversation with their leadership.
I've heard many times people say that you almost can use a lot of stories when you talk to the senior management in order to really explain where it is that you're coming from.
Right.
And with this research, I would bet that a lot of good stories would be beneficial.
It is, and I think it'll resonate with them because in the particular survey that we did, this was the U.S. population. When we do this type of a survey and an approach with our clients, the nuances of what's really going on at the workplace come to bear. The one key finding that you can take away is organizations have an opportunity to influence the environment and create a dream company. They're much less likely to create dream jobs. So when we began this process, it was to explore dream job versus dream company, what's important and how does it reflect business outcomes. And we learned that ultimately, it's about a dream company, and that's something any organization can aspire to be part of.
Thanks a lot, Andrea. This was really insightful.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
For World at Work, I'm Rose Stanley.